Let's talk about something so many of us struggle with. We know we should meditate, right? But actually finding the time to do it, that can feel downright impossible. Well, today, we're going to dig into a perspective that might just completely change how you look at your crazy, busy schedule.
Does this look familiar? I mean, we have every intention of finding that quiet moment, but life just keeps coming at us. Deadlines, family, a to-do list that never seems to end. The idea of carving out 20 minutes for silence can seem like a total fantasy.
And this quote, it just gets right to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? This is a real person juggling everything, asking, how do I do this? If you've ever felt that way, you are so not alone, and the answer we're going to explore today is powerful and probably not what you expect. So let's start with what we can call the time squeeze dilemma. It feels so real. You look at your calendar, and it is just packed solid. There's no room. But what if the real problem isn't the schedule itself? What if the real barrier is just how we're thinking about being too busy? Okay, so here's a pretty wild thought. What if your busy life isn't actually getting in the way of meditation? What if it's the perfect training ground for it? The whole point isn't just to feel peaceful when you're sitting on a cushion. The real goal is to carry that peace with you out into the world. And a busy life? Well, that's the ultimate test to see if that inner calm is for real. And that brings us to the absolute core idea here. It's this tiny but massive shift in thinking, from finding time to making time. Now, it might sound like I'm just playing with words, but trust me, this one little change in perspective, it's the key to everything. This is what it all boils down to. This isn't really a test of your scheduling skills. It's a test of your desire. It's a test of your priorities. So the question we have to stop asking is, where can I find 20 minutes? And the question we need to start asking is this important enough for me to make 20 minutes for? You can really see the difference laid out here. On one side, you have finding time. It's totally passive. You're just kind of waiting around, hoping a little gap in your day magically appears. It's that if I'm lucky mentality. But on the other side, making time. That's active. That's you taking control. That's you deciding, you know what? This is not just nice to have. This is necessary for me. And at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's a choice, and nobody else can make it for you. It's about you listening to yourself, to that inner authority, and deciding to put your own well-being first. The power to do this, it's entirely in your hands. Okay, so you've made the choice. You're committed. Now what? How do you actually make it stick? Well, the next step is to get it out of the decision category and move it into the habit category, making it something so automatic you don't even think about it. I love this analogy of a seed, right? A seed doesn't wonder if it should grow. It just has this deep internal drive to become a tree. It must. And that little urge you feel, that voice that says, I should meditate, that's not just some random thought. That's your own natural drive for growth, for well-being, pushing to the surface. I mean, think about these things. Do you ever find time to brush your teeth? Or hope you get lucky and a window opens up to take out the trash? Of course not. You just do them. They're non-negotiable because you know they're essential for things to run smoothly. And that's the big aha moment. For people who practice consistently, meditation becomes exactly like that. It stops being a luxury and becomes essential maintenance. It's just basic mental and spiritual hygiene, a non-negotiable part of a healthy, functioning life. All right, so you've made the commitment. You see it as an essential habit. But let's be real. Life is messy. What happens when your perfect plan for the day gets totally derailed? This next part is all about being flexible and meditating in the real world. So picture this. It's 5 p.m., your usual meditation time, but you're stuck in a metal tube 30,000 feet in the air with engine noise and people all around you. Seems impossible, right? The perfect excuse to skip it. But the answer is so simple. You just do it anyway. You meditate. And you treat the sound of the engine, the turbulence, the crying baby, you treat all of it just like another thought that pops into your head. You notice it, and you let it go. The goal was never a perfect, silent room. The goal is just to keep practicing. Or what about this one? You get home super late from work, you've only got a tiny window before you have to rush out again. Your normal 20-minute sit is definitely not going to happen, so you just skip it for the day, right? No way. You take those 10 minutes. You take 5 minutes if that's all you have. Every single time you sit, no matter how short, you are strengthening that habit. You're telling yourself, this is important. Every little bit is actually a huge step forward in keeping that momentum going.
So here's the game plan, and it's super simple. First, just look at the clock and see what kind of window you actually have. Second, meditate for whatever time fits in that window 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever. And then just take a breath, get up, and get on with your day. It's not about perfection, it is all about consistency.
So, why do all this? What's the big payoff for making this such a priority? Well, this last part is about the result, what we can call the invisible magic, and it's probably more profound than you think. Here's the thing, the biggest benefit of your meditation practice might be the one that other people feel. When you take the time to cultivate your own inner peace, you can't help but bring that calm, stable energy to everyone around you, especially your family. You become a little less reactive, a little more present. It's like this invisible magic that makes their lives better too. And when you look at it that way, making time for yourself is one of the most generous things you can possibly do for the people you love.
So we'll end with this simple, powerful reminder. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You don't need someone else to tell you it's okay. Everything you need to do this, the desire, the strength, the authority to make the choice, it's already inside of you because the guru is in you.